Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Getting Together, our podcast and broadcast. We are so excited. We continue to have more and more viewers. Yay! and more likes and follows. So thank you so much for doing that.
People like you, Jeremy.
Well, they like you, Rae.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, you know. And people love Prescott. And this is the cool thing about what we have been doing is trying to highlight what makes Prescott wonderful. We are down here at the Porch, one of the great coffee houses here in Prescott. Come on down, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and just enjoy the atmosphere here. And we actually have someone joining us today, San Martin Rodriguez.
Oh, there you go again.
Rodriguez.
Trilling those R's, my friend.
Those R's. Yep. And so we are excited to have him with us today. He's got an incredible story.
Good story.
I know you're going to want to be
taking over
around for that. But first, we thought we'd take a little bit of time. I went traveling this weekend,
you did.
Rae.
Yes, you did. Where did you go?
To the happiest place on earth.
You went to TJ Maxx?
The second happiest place on earth.
Oh, Disneyland.
Wow. I did go to Disneyland.
They must pay you a lot as a pastor.
Oh, yes. Yes. This is why we got to go to Disneyland. No, we went to Disneyland because my wife.
Yes. She
is
makes
my
the money.
Sugar mama.
Yes, she is.
So
Marissa making it rain.
It was a celebration for us.
Yes.
After a couple of hard years, we took some time as a family.
Well deserved.
And we really celebrated us being together.
You guys love Disneyland, don't you?
We do. And I understand that you also like this land of the mouse.
I do. I love a little Disneyland. And I'm not going to lie. I really would like to go just me and my hubby.
Okay.
I want to ditch the kids. Is that weird?
No.
That a middle-aged woman just wants to.
We had a time there when it was just the two of us.
Wasn't it fabulous?
That was a blast. Like we were being dorks and we're laughing and running from one thing to the other. And so
you don't have to wait for kids. And
and that's kind of crazy. Like we're at this stage now where we don't have to wait for kids, and we cut Ethan and Ella, our two oldest, loose a couple times. Like, hey, we'd really like to do this. We're like, we're gonna sit here like old people. Here's the credit card.
We always take in a show. You know you're getting old when it's time to take in a show.
And that's kind of the bummer right now. I mean, Disneyland's awesome. We love it. Most of the parades don't happen. They have these like super short, abbreviated parades, so that people don't gather as long. Right.
All right. They're trying to do what they can do.
And then you can't hug any of the characters. The characters are all 6 feet behind these
sorry.
fences.
You couldn't hug any of them.
Not Tinkerbell. Not
so
like
sad
Belle.
For you. Did you work through it? Did you work through it and you were okay?
No, but this is what this podcast is for, so that I can talk about it. Right. I can put my feelings on the table.
Sorry you didn't get to hug them this time, Jeremy. That's
all right.
Sad.
Pushing kids out of the way. It really is one of those Buddy the Elf moments. It's me, Cinderella, it's me.
Maleficent, like, whatever her name is.
You're not a child.
Creepy, man.
No, this is for me. This is my experience.
Oh, man. Mickey and Minnie, did they make an appearance?
We did see Mickey a couple of times in California Adventure, but not Minnie.
Right. But I have not been to California Adventure yet.
It's pretty slick.
Is it?
We enjoy California Adventure, but we found that we had a little too much time.
Yeah.
So we kind of hit the things that we wanted to hit right away, and then kind of had just a little more downtime, which was fine because we really ran ourselves ragged the first day in Disneyland.
Yes. And then you did the adventure of the California.
But what are your must hits? Like when you go to Disneyland, what do you have to do?
I have to tell you, I grew up going to Disneyland, lived like 20 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
And back in the day, we had, you're not going to remember this, but there are people that will remember this.
Why won't I remember this?
I don't know, because you're younger than me and you lived up north. You weren't a Southern Californian.
Okay, go.
And so we had the tickets. We had, do you remember them? The ticket books?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There were ticket books, you remember. And there was like A ticket, B, C, and then it went down. And the E ticket was like the bottom ride, like the one that was going to really make you sick. And so we still, to this day, in our family, if like the road to Jerome, you know, the switchbacks,
yes,
we'll go, oh man, that was an E ticket. Like
the e-ticket ride.
Yeah, it was an e-ticket ride.
So what did you have to present this ticket?
Yeah, you took the booklet with you and you ripped it out. And that is how you got on the rides.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Okay.
Long time ago.
So what were some of the e-ticket rides?
Can't remember. No. But I mean, a must too is the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's
you have to.
It just is.
Yeah.
I don't care how long the line is.
No.
You're waiting and you know it's going to be the same and it's going to be cheesy. And
it's
you're
not
still going to be
cheesy.
surprised by the fall at the end.
Yes.
Every time.
Nice.
Isn't it? It's
Pirates
so great.
is good. It has a smell. Like we went in this
It
time.
does have a smell.
And Marissa's like, that's the smell. She's like, it has always smelled this way.
Is it the water, I think?
It has to be the water or something. But we even tried to get tickets.
steam.
Oh, not tickets, but reservations at the Blue Bayou. Because we always talk about it.
My sister worked there.
Really?
Yes, I think it was the Blue Bayou.
Does
where
she
my
still have
sister
any
worked.
connections?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because we couldn't get in.
Oh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Someday.
She worked there.
Someday.
I don't know. I think she might have even been in one of the parades as a little dancer.
What?
But she worked there. And so we would get in free or half price. I can't remember.
Okay.
So all the time. Disneyland.
All right.
And
That's
I got to
pretty
say,
awesome.
Knott's Berry Farm. We loved Knott's Berry Farm.
As a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been as an adult.
No. I
But
don't
I don't know
have
if it was
fond
cheaper.
memories.
And so that's why my dad always took us.
Maybe.
Or the beer was better, maybe. I don't know.
That's something that surprised me this time around. So in California Adventure especially, they have like beer gardens and there's like a wine place.
like a
And
good
so
beer
a lot of
garden.
people walking around with
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
that you don't really see as much in Disneyland.
Okay.
So that was a little different
It's a
because the kids had
different flavor.
questions. Like,
Right.
hey, so why so much drinking? And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because people have kids.
Exactly.
No, I'm just
Because of
kidding.
you.
I
And what
think-
about what's your favorite? Like you rush, got to go there, or at least we're not leaving until we ...
I think, I don't know. It's so hard. For us, Splash Mountain is usually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because just the characters inside, it's so cool how they've done it, how they've set it up.
Yes.
So that's always been fun. But now it's going to be part of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, okay.
Because we went to Rise of the Resistance, which is like their brand new experience.
Uh-huh.
And it's one of those things that Disney just does well. Because
Phenomenal.
like you get done with the ride and all of us are talking like, how in the world, like what did we just experience? Like, how did they
Isn't
do
that
that? I don't know.
fun?
What do you think? But did you see that thing? Like, how's that? And like the detail that goes into these
Yep.
areas, like nothing is
where the
left
devil is.
undone. Yes, the devil is in the details.
Yep.
But two ears, two horns. I mean, there's probably some correlation there. It's
Maybe.
no mistake.
Just saying.
But so I think that's going to be one of our definite go-tos. The whole land, the
Yeah.
Star Wars experience is crazy.
Yeah, they were building it when we were there. We haven't been yet.
Yeah, and it opened like a few months before the pandemic, I think.
Yes.
So, but it is worth it. And once we went through the line, which was pretty formidable, but we all said, oh yeah, we would
Do it again.
make
Worth
sure
the
that-
wait.
Yeah, we'd have to do it. But I
how
don't know.
fun.
I mean, Thunder Mountain Railroad's a blast. and
Yes, it
we went on
is.
Matterhorn.
That's
it's
an oldie but a
great.
goodie.
So, oh yeah, they're all
Those are
really
go-tos.
cool.
Standards, got to do those.
Definitely. Now, how about food? What are some of those things that, like, if I go to Disneyland, the experience has to include?
Well, for us, for my sister and I, first thing when we went, this was 2 years ago, it has to be a frozen banana because that's what our dad always got us.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I don't care about any of the other food. It's just a frozen banana.
A frozen banana.
Yeah, the chocolate dipped.
With nuts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then as the day goes on, it gets mushier and mushier because it's not frozen any longer.
All right.
But there's joy in the frozen banana.
See, I don't care for the frozen banana.
Why
Because
am I
to
not
me,
surprised?
It's like a popsicle. And popsicles are squeaky. And frozen bananas are kind of squeaky.
They do kind of do that little when you
I
bite.
just had it right in the back of my neck just talking about it. Oh, I can't do it. So a churro is safe.
Churro, yes.
Churro is
It
safe. It does
A little
not
messy,
squeak.
a little messy, but
A little, but you got to keep it in the tissue.
in the tissue.
And they push that smell toward you.
Yes, they do. I think there's fans.
There must be.
They
There
know what
must
they're
be.
doing.
Oh yeah, they're not dumb. But
So a churro is a must.
A churro is a must for me.
The trill R's, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm working.
All right.
'Cause we
So
have a
there you
special
have
guest.
it. We do. We have a very special guest. He's waiting too. He's early, which
That's-
is amazing for him.
Why would you
I
do
am. I'm
that?
dissing him right now.
Why would you do that? Why
I
would you
don't
go
know.
early? This is Prescott.
You know
We slow
why?
down.
Because it's us.
We slow down here in
He
Prescott.
wants to
That's
hang
right.
out with
That's
us.
right.
Who
He's
doesn't?
so excited.
He wants to get together with us.
We know that with breathless anticipation, you've been waiting for this episode because
Yes,
we had
yes, you have.
a break for a week. So, without further ado,
Adieu.
here's our conversation as we get together with San Martin Rodriguez.
Hey. He's trilling the R's this morning.
I am. I'm feeling it.
He's trilling his R's. Hey.
They actually literally go through this thing, and I don't know if you've ever heard of a soccer game. Announcer in Spanish
you mean
to
football?
an English. Yeah.
Forever.
And he's got to be like, he's going down the thing, blah, 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 blah. And then you switch it over to the Spanish one. They're like, go! And then all of a sudden, the height just goes up. Your heart rate goes up.
You don't know that.
You don't know this.
I don't know.
No.
You should try. Just
try. Football.
Just watch one place to the next, and you'll see the excitement in it.
Okay, so this is why I love San Martin.
Yes.
We're already talking. We've asked him no questions.
We haven't.
He's just gone.
That's
He's
good.
Off.
This
He's rolling.
is going to be excellent.
So for those of you who don't know this man, you don't live here. Because if you lived here, you know him.
Yes.
San Martin's taken over. He's kicking butt and taking names.
Yes, I'm trying.
You
Nice.
are. Yes, he
And
is.
so how are you kicking butt and taking names? On what platform?
Well,
what do you
I
do?
mean, it just
What do you
depends
do?
on what year you're talking about.
Nice.
Just kidding. I started kicking butt since the day one when I got
bet.
out of
Something
the,
tells me.
of the womb.
Yeah, something
But
tells
now
me.
we're probably talking about the Prescott Times media.
Well,
which
we
is
can even
kinda
start
crazy.
with the womb.
We could.
Yeah.
What do you
I
remember?
was like, how long do we
Where's
got?
this
In a
going?
nutshell, 20-minute nutshell? I got this.
Where's this going?
So, born and raised in Prescott.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
And being in Prescott has obviously given me a lot of like opportunity now, which gives me, fast forward 40 years of acknowledgement and appreciation of the community and embracing the community in whole. So, starting off that young is very much like a big deal. But at the same time, you kind of fast forward, going through high school, going through school, didn't actually graduate high school, did not even graduate or go to college for any of the stuff that I'm doing currently.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's all self-taught, very, very much self-made, and that's what I'm doing, man.
Wow.
Kicking some butt, taking names.
Hey.
All right.
See that? Any cuss, guys? I'm good at
Good
this.
You
job.
didn't. No bleeping. You don't have to bleep. Yet.
I know. Yeah, usually there used to be a counter where you'd be like, "Shh."
We would
1,
stop
2.
it.
yeah,
3.
count that.
We're gonna have to
Well,
edit in there.
there should be a counter
Edit
in
in
there.
there.
Like
Edit in there.
whenever I curse, there should be a check mark.
Yes.
You're not going to
Little-
because our
little
moms
mark.
are watching.
Yes, mom's watching.
Okay, so born and raised in Prescott, and take us through like what happened after. You said you didn't graduate, so
No.
what?
I actually
the lost years of
I
San
went-
Martin.
Yeah, I went into construction. My uncle pulled me out of high school and says, "Let's go. It's time to go work.
Yeah.
You're doing nothing but getting into trouble and getting
Right.
yourself into predicaments that's not going to help you in the future."
Smart.
So
Yeah.
he basically stole me and took me down to the hot heat of Phoenix, Arizona.
To do construction.
To do construction, but I did it
man.
during the winter time in Phoenix, and I'm so acclimated to Prescott's weather. I remember like the first day I was getting ready to go to work with him, and mind you, he literally took me one day. The next day I was working, and so
Okay.
I get up the next morning and I'm like bundling up as if I'm in Prescott, Arizona, and I tell you what, pants, 3 or 4 shirts because I know it's cold in the morning. He goes, "You ain't gonna need none of that." And I was like, "What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?"
It's called clothing.
And sure
gotta
enough,
wear-
man, he was totally right. I was like, "Dude, I'm not gonna believe you. I haven't even gone outside yet, mind you, guys this." And as soon as I walked outside, and I was like, "What the heck, dude?" I immediately took off my my over sweater.
Welcome to Phoenix.
Yeah, welcome to Phoenix. I was
Yeah.
really brought
Wow.
into
How long
that.
did you do that? How long did you do construction?
Down in Phoenix a year and a half, and then I came from Phoenix into Prescott and started doing construction here for, I forgot how many years, but we did a lot of building up until 2008.
oh wow.
So yeah, there was a bunch of things that were happening since that time. But
Yeah.
I ended up building my portfolio, started building a lot of houses and having a great time doing it. I was, I guess, what they call a sponge. So I was easily educated by the building aspect. So I was like, man, how is that guy doing all the bossing around and he ain't doing nothing? And I was
be
like, I
him.
want to be his job.
Yeah.
And so out of high school, I just started learning how to go ahead and be that person. And you ever heard of the phrase "fake it until you make it"?
Yeah.
Well, technically, that's kind of what happened. And I wasn't trying to actually like beat the system. It was just like, sometimes the system I feel is broken, and so I kind of worked my way around it. And all of a sudden, I was running crews, I was running the show, and ultimately, I was like trying to figure out, man, this is life is easy. They don't teach me none of this in high school. If they did, I would have been a certified bona fide.
Valedictorian.
Yes,
you would have been like
I would have
number
been like,
one.
Take me out, man. So at that point in time, I realized that life is somewhat what you make it.
Oh, yeah.
And I ended up, starting to run crews at that time. And everybody was like, well, how do you do it? And the older guys, because you have to be a journeyman framer. And don't get me wrong, there's a reason for that, because it's very technical and you have everybody's life in your hand.
Right.
But thank God we have inspectors, because inspectors are the ones that tell you, hey, you did wrong. Those are your fact checkers of the past of the year. And when they come into the house, they'll tell you exactly, what you did wrong. So fix it in order for us to move forward and pass the inspection. So ultimately, there was always somebody there to hold you accountable. But I ended up doing something, to the point of faking it till you make it. And yes, nobody probably knows this story, but I did it. And it was more or less that I hired somebody that could do it. I had somebody that was not in the ability of making that foreman position, but he had the education to go ahead and actually build that home. So just like any boss or any person that's ever bought a business or whatever, they realized that they could come around a way to, hire somebody that could actually do the job. Okay. And I did the job as far as like, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this. Okay, we're good. And
so you're bossy, is what you're saying?
Yeah, very
much.
bossy.
No, man, he's a visionary.
Oh, visionary. Okay,
He's a good leader, because a good leader...
Yeah. She was like, I feel the bossiness up in this. Martine's always telling me what to do. No, it was kind of fun, but at the same time, it was very a drooling work. It was grueling.
Sure.
Work,
grueling.
Yes.
But there was boxing in your background. Tell us about that.
On the job site?
Because, Jeremy,
I had a feeling.
avid boxer.
Really?
Big time. Oh, yeah.
No.
I know.
My grandfather, he boxed in the Navy.
Yes, he did.
So it's there in the background somewhere. And I've always
in
thought, that'd be kind of interesting. But
yeah.
then I look at my... I have noodle arms, so I could have some good reach.
Well, the best part about it is
that's
you can go ahead and get a man with big old muscles. It doesn't matter. A skilled boxer can fight. It is what it is.
There you go.
You could go. You could go up to a big old guy and you'd be like, "Oh crap, this is going to be a bad scene," and then all of a sudden, your skills take control and you're good to go.
There you go.
Because they can't swing as fast.
Skills.
They can't swing as fast. Just saying, they can't swing as fast.
Yes, and they get winded, I'm sure.
So was that like something you wanted to do, or was that like survival?
No, okay, so what ended up happening, I got into junior high, and Jake Magallanes is, he used to be the principal for the junior high. Noticed that I was getting in too much trouble because growing up in a single family, my dad wasn't there to watch me all the time.
I love
so
that he noticed you.
Yeah, well, he had no choice. I was going
made
to
him notice you.
I was going into the office, and at that point in time, he decided to go ahead and basically put me underneath his wing. So he said, come to the gym.
Thank God for men like that.
Wow. Yes, come to the gym. I mean, and it was weird because as a young teen, I don't know how young teens are now. I know a few go-getters, but as a young teen, we're just like, all right, from school, like mind you this, from school, downtown Prescott, Arizona, we would run all the way up the hill to the Armory. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Armory.
Yeah.
And below the Armory, there's a boxing club that was literally my second home.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so started in junior high.
Is it still going today?
No, I still put on shows though, MMA and kickboxing.
Really?
I still put on those shows, but I don't actually educate or I hit the bag, but that's about it.
But is the boxing club still there in the Armory? Wow.
Yes, it's still there, and it's got grandfathered in, so there's like no fees or nothing. It's like a nonprofit.
Holy cow.
And it's a really good thing.
That.
No.
Yeah, it's a real good entity for the community.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you take that, and it was actually a good thing for me. It gave me discipline. It gave me the heart to fight for myself. Because obviously, as you know, going into the ring, it's just you and the other opponent. There's nobody in there to help you or back you up. So it installed in me a couple of things. Don't fear nobody. Don't back down. And get in there and fight. And if you get knocked down, get back up. Obviously, unless you get hit too dang hard. But that's the whole point.
Life lessons, right?
Don't get hit that hard.
You bob and move. You just get out of the way for some things. And so you take that and you apply it to life today, and that's exactly how my mindset is. So if I lose, I just keep on getting back up. It doesn't matter, and I'm a fighter, so that's what happens when you're a fighter. You just don't take no for an answer, and you just fight.
Keep going.
So that's kind of my life. But my last time of training anybody was at the age of 31, but I was in it from junior high to the age of 31, and still today we still do kickboxing events here in Prescott, Arizona.
I'll be darned.
Neat. I did not know that.
I did not either.
I didn't know.
That's not my world yet.
Right.
Maybe it could be.
It could be.
Yeah,
You'll see it in your future.
Yeah, there's a whole world. It's like demographics, man. Called keywords. We only attract those that like that event.
There you go.
So hashtag fights.
So bring us through. Always an opportunist. Bring us through from boxing and construction to now you're in a whole different world. Media. How did you get there, San Martin?
Well, it was something I didn't ask for. I just adapted. So at the 2008, obviously we had a big crash of just whatever. The banks decided to do whatever they wanted to. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people weren't able to go into the construction field because it just stopped like a waterfall.
Lost their houses.
Right.
It was horrible. It was a horrible season. And I actually read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Oh yeah. And at that point there was actually
that one?
Oh yes, it was making its rounds in different Christian circles and things like that.
I didn't know that.
And I didn't read too much of it. I just got the gist of it. But at the same time, it was like, live within your means. Put yourself into those things. And I couldn't really fathom what the heck was next. And mind me, at this point in time, I was like doing the party scene. I was going out to the clubs and the bars and whatever, and I really enjoyed it. And people loved just hanging out. And so I started thinking that I could possibly just start hosting parties. And back in high school, I mean, you're not saying no names, but we used to go ahead.
Say names.
We used to go ahead.
It's a small town. Please say names.
We used to have kegers, out in the forest. And we used to charge $5 a cup. Sorry if that's a I was underage, so it doesn't matter.
Now you know what? The tax man's going to come after you. You want all that back tax.
I want it all back. And it was all spill tap, so we could write it off, I think. And so what ends up happening is you start thinking of all these ideas, and at this time is when MySpace became a big deal.
Oh gosh.
This is when text messaging became a big deal.
No.
I didn't either, but I remember it.
So this is when text messaging became a big deal. The ability to go ahead and reach out to several people at once.
Yes.
Like this is starting to
the group text.
Yeah, the new social media started evolving.
Okay.
And so there's power in numbers, and everybody knows that there is. And at this time at MySpace, I only had like 500 people that were on that page, and then we learned how to do bots, which is you write a code and it does stuff in the background. Well, at this time, I was able to add all the people in a 50-mile radius with just in Prescott, Arizona, add them to my page.
Look at his little face light up.
Yeah, so 5,000 people in the matter of 3 months just freaking jumped on, and they kept on asking me, why do you got so many friends? And I'm just like, I pushed a couple buttons.
Because I'm San Martin.
Yeah, because I'm San. And so at that point in time, you realize there's power in numbers. And so we started doing...
do you mean money in numbers?
Yes.
Yes.
And so we started bringing bands that nobody knew of, nobody heard.
Did you have your friends? You had like a group?
Yeah, we had a freaking cool group. It was awesome. All of us friends, when I was like, dude, let's just go ahead and rent out some of the venues downtown and bring these bands. So the first band that I brought here was my friend Ikaika Beamer. And then the next one was actual Iration. And in the reggae rock world, this band is huge. It's selling out venues, and it's just huge. Wow. And so that's how we started. And I realized that there's money in this. So I was like, let's go. That's
So,
where I'm at.
And
so more
that's how it
event
started.
organization and stuff like that. Okay.
At that point in time, it was more partying. They were like, Martine, what do you want? I was like, free tab. And it was actually really cool to go ahead and have that ability. But then I started realizing that there's money in that door, there's money in the marketing, there's money in the sponsorships, and I was like, well, I could possibly do this on the side as I do some side work because I feel like I should be doing construction since I have the tools.
Right.
And then it just kept on evolving where I was doing construction, and then weekends I would just do these events, like one or two a
Wow.
month.
Wow.
Yeah, it
Are
was
you
incredible.
full time now then with the Prescott Times?
Yeah,
That's what you do full time.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years now.
And the Prescott Times is something that you started, or is that something that you bought?
Well, we actually we ended up getting involved with other agencies locally, and it was something that was actually really interesting to be a part of, and realizing that there was some things that was driven in directions that I didn't want to be, as far as it wasn't including community. I decided to say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and focus on entertainment. And then my buddy from Spicy Streets, Ivan, shout out Ivan, at Spicy Streets, and he says, hey, I want to invest in you, and I thought that the investment should be in the Prescott Night Out, which was just all about entertainment and bringing people together. No politics, no nothing. We'd be fine here, safe, and because I never want any beef in Prescott, and I was like, I feel like I should do more. And so we sat there and he goes, let's just do what you were doing and just start something bigger. And so we ended up going through 3 months of trying to figure out the name, because we wanted it to fit. We wanted it to be a part of the area. And at that point in time, we decided to go ahead and make a final decision on the Prescott Times, and nobody had it, and it just seems like it was kind of suited for the area. And being in a small population, it was perfect time to go ahead and start this and host it and just make it happen. So,
you've made it happen, my friend.
yes.
Really
And I
cool.
keep on trying, and every day you wake up with a different idea or a different thought, or somebody will come to you and start bringing these different ideas and thoughts, and you're just like, man, let's just go ahead and do it. They're like, wait, don't you want to discuss it? No, because if I discuss it, then all of a sudden you have a second thought. That second thought will kill you.
I can't do that.
Unfortunately, it happens.
Someone else is doing it. Someone's in that space.
I can't make it.
Yeah,
There's just too much going on. It's like, dude, no.
Yeah, we're those people too. We just let's do it.
Yeah, we
just
just
do
push it,
Do
and
it.
then we're like, you know what, this is crazy. If we're gonna do it, let's just do it. We'll figure it out as we go.
Oh
Yeah.
So
And that's exactly how it works. That if you have the will to survive and just make it happen, it will happen. And it's been noted from day one. Like I said, it's been noted day one. Like, all I want to do is just do it, just make it happen.
Yeah.
And I've been going through life where people says, "No, you can't do that. No, you can't be that. No, you can't be that person's friend. No, you can't actually be." And I'm like, what? I don't understand that. So growing up, you just start realizing that what you're not supposed to be that person. You're supposed to be somebody that brings people together. And
do.
I take it.
You do.
Yeah.
You bring joy to San Martin wherever you go. You really do. Very joyful. I enjoy being wherever you're going to be. It's fun.
I enjoy the porch.
Yes, we love the porch.
Shout out to James
Jesse.
Dean. Green tea. Was it James Dean or
What? No. What? Your exotic dancer?
Yeah,
what did
my
you have
exotic
today?
dancer
Something
drink.
Cloud.
I said I didn't want no more.
Jade Cloud. And
Yes.
I said that
Cloud?
sounds like an exotic dancer.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a very strange name for a tea at
It's a tea.
church.
Jade Cloud, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Jade Cloud.
Jade Cloud.
Okay, yes.
Shout out to the Jade Cloud. I think I'm all jittery now from all the coffee and tea.
I think really pretty much that's a natural thing for you.
Just kind of live there in
yeah.
the jitters.
Oh, he's got so much energy. I thought I had energy.
So what's
He
kind of
wins.
next for you? What do you kind of see on the horizon, and what's happening with what you're doing now, and where's it going to go?
Well, I start from today and then work my way all the way down into July.
Okay.
It's just like,
Because now all the fun starts to happen in Prescott.
We are booking events and being a part of the big events in all of the area all the way up until July, August, and I'm just like, all right, this is what I'm talking about.
And all the
That's
fun
good.
things.
Yeah, there's ATV off-roading going on in Chino Valley. There's the kickboxing event that's going on that we're going to put together. We
Fun.
got the corner lot over here that we're trying to work on as far as making a food truck roundup.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
please.
So there's just a bunch of stuff.
Tell us why you love Prescott. I mean, you've
why
lived here your
wouldn't
whole
you?
life, so why do you stay?
If I keep my head in the clouds, it's the environment. the environment in most retro, that I've been to a bunch of places and it just doesn't feel good in my body. It just doesn't make me feel like me.
Yes.
So, living in Phoenix for a short time, which literally a year and a half, and I came back home. I was like, never want to be down there, never want the hustle and bustle of the big city.
Yeah.
It's not me, And don't get me wrong, I would have done very, very well in the big city, but at the same time, I was like, man, I think of myself as a tree, putting your roots in.
Yeah.
And withstanding any piece of the weather. It is what it is. Like, if you do it right, you will be able to go ahead and make it happen.
There's so many T-shirt slogans that come out of his mouth that I'm just like marketing in my head.
Yes. I'm like, this guy's going to
tree.
make a tree. Prescott is a tree of life, man. And if nobody knows that this place has like literally the best weather in all of the world.
It's really good.
I heard
So
a preacher
great.
one time say that. I've been around the world and there's nothing like a monsoon season in Prescott, Arizona.
Yes.
Oh, it is amazing.
And
It is
I don't
amazing.
care
So
if nobody hears that, but this guy's, I've been around the world. I haven't been around the world, and I already know this.
Yes.
And so
That's awesome.
also meeting people from, outside of town that come here, they're just like, dude, I feel so crazy. And I'm like, probably because you're breathing fresh air. I mean,
Right.
when you're down in the
For
freaking
real,
valleys and all the cities.
You can see more than 5 miles at a time, right?
Yeah, and then they
It's a
come
little
up here
scary.
and they're just like, man, I feel so happy. I feel so like enlightened. I feel like I could think. And I'm just like, well, probably because you're not in a bunch of BS, man.
Very
And
true.
so that's the reason why people do love Prescott. I
that's
see
why
it
you
every
love
time they
it.
come up here.
That
A
is
lot of my
good.
family live in California or Phoenix. They come here and they're just like, dude, we love coming back
Yes.
here. And you can see it. Their eyes are just like, relief, life in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So no foggy brains up here.
Well, I think one of the things that you were talking about, and that I think also makes this area so cool, is that thing of people investing in other people. Like, there's a guy who sees something in you, whether how you came across his path, wasn't the best, but instead of just saying, all right, well, we're just going to get rid of this guy, like just shove him off. Okay, I'm going to take him under my wing. I'm going to show him a different path, and then it's going to be up to him to make that choice, And so I like those kind of stories in Prescott. People are still willing to reach out, lend a hand, bring somebody up from the bottom and say, hey man, we're going to give you all the tools because we believe still in community. So, and I think it's really cool. And what I'm hearing too from you is that piece of your life where you are investing in others, whether it's boxing and now looking at these things where that'll bring community, and that it's your heart, your central heart is for that thing of community and creating spaces where people are going to have, they may only have one thing in common at the start, and maybe that's kickboxing, but then from that there's growth that's possible. So that's really cool.
Relationships.
We want to see good things happen. I mean, I feel like I've met, some people that have gone out to be famous, millionaires, and just be that person, whether it be friends or whether it be people that you actually helped or ushered into the world of, I want somebody to know about you. I want somebody to see you. There's been a lot of like negative ones, but at the same time, I've seen a lot of positives. So it's fun to go ahead and help out the community in a big way.
I love that.
That's very cool.
We have started ending our broadcast with a question. The name of our show is Getting Together. So we're asking our guests, who is one person you would like to get together with? If you could, anyone could be
past, present, future.
All right.
Famous,
Future.
not
How
famous.
could it be future?
This is kind of
You
crazy.
just got to use your imagination.
Obviously, the most controversial man in the world.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
No, you
And
can't say that.
I
Sorry,
already-
that's a
it's too late.
disclaimer.
It's too late. Too late. So the reason why is
Gotta lay down
because
the rules
this
first.
guy is actually
forgot that
able.
rule.
There is a guy that's able and capable of changing minds and causing wars. And for what reason? I want to know why. Why?
you wanna sit down and go, why?
Yeah. Why in the world? Why? Or just look at him, or even be in that presence of like how
Yes.
strong of this person is that you can't speak his name in places. You're just like, what? This is not allowed. And so the other one would be Bob Marley. And the reason why we roll
Jesus and Bob Marley.
the reason
I
why
like
we roll
it.
with Bob Marley is because he actually does, he does incite some of the Bible, literature, and I'm just like, what is going on with this? But he also made a difference in this world,
Yes, he
where
did.
he is now all over the world, and now it's like, this is so what this is what I kind of want to be, a person that will be able to make a difference. Now, if I were to die today, will I be forgotten tomorrow? Or will I
No.
leave my legacy for the world to see?
leaving
And that's
it.
kind of what I want to do. I want to be here today and be present and make it known, like, you can do whatever the heck you put your mind to.
Yeah.
and also being inspirational whenever I get a chance. So anyways, those are the two people I would
Cheers
sit
to
down.
that.
Taking
Jesus
a mark.
and Bob Marley.
You can't go wrong.
There you
I love
go.
it. I love it. San Martin, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Two life of the spectrums. Let's
I
make
love
it happen.
That's right.
hanging out with you.
Yes, no,
awesome.
it's a beautiful day to be alive.
Getting together
It is.
with you.
Is
a
it
good
Monday?
daily life.
Do you guys
It
only
is
do this on
Monday.
Monday?
It is Monday. We do
Record
this
on Monday,
Oh,
and
record
then
on
this
Monday.
will go out. Yes, while
Wednesday.
you're watching
So
this,
this
it's Wednesday.
is the problem. Oh yeah, Wednesday. So this is the problem with sometimes doing that. You're like, oh crap, this today. You got to plan for tomorrow.
That's right.
right.
That's right. Oh, I had a good weekend. Like it's midweek already. Oh yeah. Well, sorry
Exactly.
about that. But,
Oh, yeah.
well, thank you everyone so much for getting together with us and San Martin, and be sure to check out the Prescott Times. And
Yes.
it is a great place for information, but also just a way to get your fix of San Martin and putting him on par with Bob Marley. That's the goal.
San Martin and Bob
So,
Marley.
but thank you so much. Like and share, and obviously there's a lot to his story, just like there's a lot to your story. So we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to have you as a part. As our community grows here in Prescott, there's a lot of interesting, fantastic folks, and we are looking forward to getting together with you. So like and share, and we'll see you on the next episode of Getting Together.
Bye.
Bye.